Hello mamas, today's workout is a very important one. It is breastfeeding / bottle feeding mobility. Mobility exercises that are going to help open up our chest, because no matter how we were feeding, no matter really what position we're feeding in, unless you are doing side lying, I know a lot of moms like to do that, or if you're doing a reclined position, those are really like the only two positions that basically don't involve you going like this. And it's just the natural way we breastfeed. This is not natural, because like, how are we getting baby up here, you know? So all of us, whether it's through a bottle or breastfeeding, with the exception of like two positions, are right here like this. And that ends up hurting. It doesn't feel good to be slouched for that long. And if you notice over time, you will kind of progressively start to stand like this more and more and more and more. We don't want that. That is not good. So all of these exercises are for mobility, to open up our chest and kind of pull our shoulders back, because we don't want that rounded shoulder. You're going to start to feel that in your upper back, feel it in your lower back. It's keeping your core not shut off, but constricted and closed and shortened. And we need it long. And our pelvic floor, we need everything to be open and able to be used. When we're doing this isn't being used. Our pelvic floor isn't being used. It's just being shortened and blah. And we need it all open and long, including our core as well, our chest, all of that. So from here to here. So I have a few different exercises I'm going to take y'all through. I'm not going to go through a whole workout of this with y'all, because everybody kind of tends to require something different when it comes to mobility. You know, you may feel like 5 reps is good for one exercise, and then you're like, ooh, okay, that helped. Or you may feel like you need to spend a good 5 minutes on the same mobility exercise, because that part of your body may really need that specific exercise. So that being said, I'm going to take us through 10 reps, 30 seconds, however we end up counting that specific exercise, and then we'll move on to the next one. So this is very much just a guideline of, these are the exercises that you do, this is why we do them, and then you can do them on your own. So to get started, the first thing, y'all, we do it in every single workout. It's cat-cow. It's just too good of one and too important of one to skip out on, and that is because it's great for feeding mobility, but it's also fantastic for pelvic floor and lengthening our core, and our spine needs mobility and all of that. So our first one is cat-cow, which I'm gonna do 5 reps with y'all, because we all know cat-cow. So just as a reminder, just in case you are starting with this workout and haven't gone through an actual or another workout, we're inhaling, looking up, and then exhaling, arching back right here, okay? We want as much mobility in our spine as we can get. If you are early postpartum, you're not gonna have as much, because it's gonna feel like a lot on your body to stretch and move it out. But the further postpartum you are, the more workouts you are doing, you will be able to get more mobility. When I started, I'm 7 weeks postpartum right now. So at first I was literally going like this. It was more of just a pelvic tilt, okay? Because it felt tight, it felt like too much movement to do more than that. Now, at 7.5 weeks, I'm right here, okay? I can really move my spine, really breathe into this, get some good 360 breathing into it as well. We have open book stretch. You are gonna want something to prop up one of your knees with. It's not crucial, it's just helpful. You're gonna lay on your side. The leg closest to the ground is gonna be laid out flat. The one on top is going to lay on whatever you can find, really. It's not crucial though. This arm is at 90 degrees, as is this one, okay? You're going to inhale and then exhale, okay? Ooh, it feels so good. I'm just gonna go for 5 each side, because it feels really good. Inhale, exhale. Good. And the goal with all of these is to, over time, just be able to get more mobility with them, right? The more we're able to do these, the more mobility, or the more mobile our body gets. And that's the goal. That's really the goal of this program is obviously to reconnect to our core and pelvic floor, close that gap, have diastasis recti, regain strength, reconnect to our body. But another goal is mobility. That kind of gets turned off a little bit during pregnancy. We are not as mobile during pregnancy, and so we're working on creating more mobility. So these are exercises too that even if it doesn't feel like, oh, this is fun, this is helping me gain strength, it still is helping your body and benefiting your body. So as you continue to do these moves throughout your postpartum journey, I do want you to pay attention to how much more mobile you have gotten and chalk that up as a win, because it is. Any type of progression is a win. Okay, so that's open book stretch. Moving on to shoulder angels. So this one, and for my C-section moms, some of these you may feel like you need a little bit more time before doing some of these. You are the gauge of that though. And I can't even say like an overarching, if you're a C-section mom, wait this long to do it, because everybody's incision is different. Everybody's incision is healing differently. There are lots of factors at play. So when it comes to postpartum recovery, C-section or vaginal, but specifically C-section, it is totally dependent on how you feel, if you feel ready, okay? It is important for you to do that C-section mobilization and all of that. But in terms of all of these, feel it out. You want to be lengthening your core, okay? Which most of these are doing. So let's go ahead and go through shoulder angels. This one you can do either lying down or sitting up, which led me to talk about C-section moms. One of these may feel better for you than the other. I'm gonna move my phone because it's really windy and I'm scared that the microphone's picking up wind. I hope that it hasn't so far. The lighting is not as great this way, but if it was windy, I'm sorry. So shoulder angels, I'll show y'all sitting first. It's right here like this. Arms are at 90. Inhale, exhale, and you're opening up your chest, okay? So inhale, exhale. Notice how I'm leaning back on that exhale. Exhale, okay? So the whole goal of this is to open up. So this is for feeding mobility. This is how we feed. We want it here. So this exercise is great. If there is one that you ever feel like you could do after a breastfeeding or bottle feeding session, there are some times where I have been doing it, it was a long session, and I set White down and I stand up and I'm like, oh my gosh, my back. And I need an immediate mobility exercise. This is the one that I go to because I feel like it quickly opens everything back up and stretches that back open. So if you need a like one and done, I'm feeling it in my back. Personally, this is the one that I think is the best for that. Also for my C-section moms, this is super lengthening on that incision and in your core. So this is a great mobility exercise for C-section moms, okay? The other option to do it on your back is right here like this. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I personally feel it better when I'm sitting, but it is nice to switch it up and do it on your back. So you have options there. And again, if you're looking for specific reps, don't forget, look below the video. I have it written out as an example workout for you. Next exercise is lat stretch. So for this one, you are going to, C-section moms, you're going to want to wait longer to do this one. But you're going to lay down right here, okay? Just bend one arm down and then reach. What am I doing? Here we go. Reach, oh, there we go. I was going the opposite way. Reach forward right here like this. So you're going to feel that stretch all down right here, okay? We're opening up the side, and then I'll switch. So this arm that's resting is right here, and then we're elongating that other side, right here like this. So again, C-section moms, this position is going to be difficult just because you don't want to lay on your incision. So this is one particularly, wait it out until it feels like you're ready to do it. You may be ready now. You may need to wait a few weeks. I'm going to show you all from this angle so that you can see. The resting arm is right here. The active arm on the side that's getting a stretch. I'm twisting and leaning down. You almost want to think about pushing your shoulder down into the ground as much as you can. You will know if you're doing it right because you're going to get a stretch all down the side right here, okay? Next exercise is a chest open chair stretch. I'm calling this a chair stretch. It doesn't have to literally be on a chair. I'm using my stability ball. So for this, what you're going to do is lean up against something and then press your armpits down into the ground. For my C-section moms, you're gonna want a higher up incline so that your knees or your legs don't touch your incision. A chair would probably be a better option for y'all. If you feel comfortable doing something lower, a stability ball works well as well. So you'll lean down into it right here, opening up your chest. Again, think about pressing your armpits down into the ground. So just show you all from this angle, right here, pressing down, okay? Just some good deep breaths in that position. You can think about your 360 breathing in that position. You can actually count those 360 breaths as your 30 of the day. 2 more exercises and we're done. Next one is thoracic rotation. So thoracic rotation, that's that side to side, okay? Thoracic rotation. Any exercise that has us moving across body and then the opposite way is considered thoracic rotation. So that term is kind of just a general broad term. The exercise that I have specifically been doing myself is this one right here in a tabletop position, arm right here like this, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So this is another one that early on in pregnancy, you're probably just going like this, or in postpartum, you're probably just going like this. You don't have as much range of motion. It feels like it's a little ouch maybe to have that much range of motion. So you can build onto that right now at 7.5 weeks postpartum. I'm a big inhale and a twist, and then big exhale and twist, okay? Way more range of motion than I had 7 weeks ago. So you'll build up to that. But again, thinking big inhale, and then exhale, deep twist. Obviously, we'll do each side. And then our final exercise is a band backward shoulder rotation. This is another great one. I said that the shoulder angels are great for opening up our chest. If you want like a quick one and done, that was a long session and I'm feeling it exercise. This one is also fantastic if you happen to have your band on hand. So right here, open it, bring them back as far as you can. If you can go all the way back, fantastic. Your mobility will not probably be there in the beginning. That's something you can build up to. You'll bring it back up, rotate it back up. If you can't get your arms all the way down, again, totally fine. You'll go as far as you can. You'll feel that stretch, and each time you do it, you'll get a little bit further, and then a little bit further until you're able to go all the way back. Okay, so this one obviously is great for opening up the chest, my C-section mamas. It's great for creating length in your core and in your stomach, where that incision is, to stretch that out, because we don't want that scar tissue staying in place. We need movement right there to make that scar tissue not be stuck. So with this, you will inhale and exhale, okay? Those are our exercises. Again, I didn't want to go through this with, like 3 sets of 10, because we all our bodies always are craving something different. What feels good for you one day may not feel as great the next day. So wanted to show you these exercises so that you can do them whenever they feel best for you. Again, there are example reps and sets below, just so that if you're a numbers person, you've got that. But with something like mobility, it truly is just to kind of like gauge as you go. See what your body is telling you you need, see what feels best. Depending on the day, some of these exercises feel better than others. Sometimes I really need cat-cow. Other days I'm like, it's not really doing much for me. So it's dependent on the day. It's dependent on how long your feeding sessions are. It's dependent on how long you've been sitting, how you've been sleeping, what position you're sleeping in. Mobility really just varies. So I've given you the exercises that are beneficial specifically for feeding mobility, and then I've even kind of honed in on C-section moms, what to be cautious of, which ones are a little bit more focused for y'all on, lengthening your core. So you can kind of take these with what works best for you. How often do you need to do mobility? Again, listen to your body. Some weeks you may need mobility every single day. It's best to do mobility every single day, but I also know that we are all moms. I'm not doing mobility every single day because I've got 2 kids to take care of. Realistically speaking, if you can't do mobility every single day, strive for 3 days a week. take some time, go through this routine and focus on it. If you're unable to do mobility every day, which again, that's very difficult, that's a big ask, then let's try to stick to 3 times a week and actually treating this like a workout. That is when I would look at the numbers written below, think of this as a workout routine, go through it, take care of your body. Mobility is just as important as any of these other exercises. So these are your breastfeeding or bottle feeding mobility exercises. I hope this is helpful. Do them when it feels best, pick out your favorites, listen to your body, and move her and love her. Y'all are wonderful. Very proud of you, mamas.